Welcome to the Stress Outlet. My name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and Giovanni and I are in today because it was 1 degree when we got up, and it's about 6 degrees less where we walk, even though it's 5 minutes away. It's elevation. And so that'd be like -5 minutes, pause too much. Okay, so what we want to talk about today from my Zen Den, I love this room. Our daughter kind of created this for me a long time ago. So we want to talk about don't waste your suffering. You know, those life curveballs that happen, those bad curveballs that happen. And then, we'll talk about this in a few seconds here, but the version of you right now, remember, would not be the same. It's hard to even picture what you'd be like without, I mean, even the biggies, like you lost a parent young, somebody left, some horrible breakup. You know my story. I was brought up by two abusive alcoholic parents, and again, it's not about blame. It's just for the purpose of the story, and all the mental illness and all the neglect and all the bad stuff that happened to me. That all would have been in vain if I just kind of dismissed it. And it was a lot of working through and a lot of processing the feelings and all that sort of thing. Eventually you close the chapter because you've reframed, and all the growth that's come out of that. I can't even imagine who I would be today without all that happening. I can't even picture that, because out of that comes more empathy, more just more authenticity, more genuine motivation to do all the things I do. Speaking all of you, with all of you wonderful people, and all the writing I do, all of it. So we don't want to just dismiss our suffering, or just glad that's over. Not that we're not glad that's over. Of course we are. And this tends to come later, and I actually brought this down with me. Because I write my gratitude journal every day. Well, my husband got this one for me. It's different from, what I have usually. Usually I have just a blank book. It's I am grateful for, I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for, 3 times, very important. This one has a couple of other prompts. It has a little spot for a positive intention, a little spot with going out in nature, and then it has a spot for, despite whatever happening, fill in the blank, it worked out because, and I found myself going back to that later, because some days you don't have that to write down. Some days you do, and you go, and it also doesn't work out till late, sometimes days and days go by, maybe even weeks, and you go back, you're like, wow, aha moment, that's why that happened. And Viktor Frankl, my all-time favorite psychologist, Holocaust survivor, said the meaning of the suffering is the whole thing. Otherwise, it was pointless that we went through all of that. It really makes us who we are as people. So if you're going to go through whatever said adverse experience is, don't waste it. Find the growth.